Know that most businesses fail because they don't have a clear plan. They don't have a strategy and a roadmap in place. And today I'm going to show you how you can map out your next 3 to 12 months strategically so you can get to your goals. And I want to ask you guys right now, how many of you December 31st or the beginning of the month actually take the time to look at a calendar and say, okay, these are the goals that I want to achieve over the next 30 days, within the first quarter, within the next year? How many of you actually take the time to write down your clear goals and then action steps to get them? If that's you, you always write out your goals, type a 1 in the chat. If you do not, type a 0 in the chat, because we're going to be talking about that today. And if you're the type of person who's like, oh no, I just like to go with the flow. I just like to go with the vibe. I'm all about just energy. Energy is cool. Flow is cool. But when it comes to your business, you need to have a game plan. And a well-crafted game plan is going to be your business's GPS. And today, back in the day, we used to use MapQuest. Today, there is like Google Maps. I use Google for everything, even if I know where I'm going. Why? Because along the way, there might be traffic. There might be roadblocks. There might be construction. And so I might need to adjust my path and direction so that way I can get to my destination on time. And this is the same with your business. If you have a clear GPS and as you're tracking along the way, which we're going to discuss, you can make adjustments along the way so you can still get to your end goal. And welcome for everyone who's tuning live. We go live every day, Monday through Friday at noon Central, going over how you can successfully build an online business this year for the next 30 days. After that, we're going to go down to 2 days a week. So I appreciate you being here. Make sure to catch the replays. And if you miss any of the lives, they're also on my YouTube channel at I am El Ross. Now, when you are able to actually strategically map out your goals, I want to share a client who we sat down when we started working together, and instead of her like juggling all the content on all the client work and just kind of going with the flow, we mapped out, okay, what is the goal that we want to hit these first 90 days? And then what do you want your life to look like and what do you want to achieve over the next 12 months? And what she was able to actually achieve in that time frame within those 90 days. This is Arnitra. Within those 90 days, we were able to successfully take her from $8,000 in a month to close to $30,000 in a month. And now she's consistently earning $20,000 to $30,000 a month. And one of her specific goals was to be able to take a quarterly trip with her family. She's a wife, she has 2 sons, and now she's able to live more life on her terms. She's not stuck to one-on-one clients. We transitioned it to group coaching. But how are we able to do that? We had to just strategically map out her content strategy, her marketing strategy when it comes to her emails, update her offer, and put some systems and automations. And when everything was streamlined in place, along with a launch process, all a part of the plan, this is how she was able to achieve this goal. And this is what's possible when you take the time to plan out your month, your quarter, your year, your strategy in advance. Okay. And so if you're wondering, like, is this possible for me? I'm saying, yes, it is. And today I want to touch on specific elements that we're going to break down to get to those clearer goals within your business. And so first, we want to set clear, realistic goals. I know some of you guys might have heard of SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, timely. This is all very true. And the way that you're able to, okay, if you say, this year I want to make $100,000. That's great. You write it down on a piece of paper. You take out a journal and you write it down, right? Then it's like, okay, how are you going to make this $100,000? And what are the daily steps that you might need to do, the daily actions that you might need to do? And maybe it's like, okay, well, my price point's going to be $2,000. I want to have 5 clients a month. And in order for me to achieve that, what are the actions to do that? And for example, once you do that, similar to like Arnitra, her price point went from $1,500 to $4,000. And when we increased her price point, she was able to close less clients and easily get to her goal sooner because the strategy changed, but it was mapped out. And then you also want to think of time as a factor. You don't want to get burned out when you're working to achieve these goals. So you want to make sure that you set goals that are like, it matches your lifestyle. For example, I'm not a new mom. My son is 3 years old, But I always am attempting to be like my old self when I didn't have any kids, where I was just like, I could get up at 4 a.m., I could go to the gym, I could do XYZ. And then now I realized I was like, okay, I'm not able to move the same way I was because I'm running businesses, I'm a mom, I have to give myself grace and adjust. I'm not always going to make it into the gym. So I might need to work out at home. I might need to go to the local gym. And so you want to think about what's realistic. Same with your content strategy, with your marketing strategy. You might not have the capacity to go live every day unless you choose to put it in your schedule and you choose yourself like a client. Me challenging myself to go live every day, Monday through Friday at noon, I was like, I can do this if I put myself in my schedule. And so you want to make sure that you're scheduling your tasks, your goals, the things that you want to achieve in your calendar. Like, there's a reason why there's Google Calendars. If you're not scheduling, like, your calendar should be booked out, and it doesn't have to be booked out with different clients or anything like that. It needs to be booked out with tasks. I have engagement. I have community involvement. I have follow-up. I have reaching out or updating my sales funnels. I have mentorship. I have it's all blocked out in my calendar. I even have lunchtime and dinner and cooking. Why? Because when you actually time block, you're going to be so much more successful in your business. Okay. And there's ways that you can do that through Google. I use Notion specifically for mapping and planning out content strategies. I use Google Calendar for scheduling everything. And then I also use Trello. But you want to have some way or some kind of system to be tracking all of your progress. So that way, when you're setting these goals, it could be realistic. Hello, Mr. Carmel Steve. Welcome. Do you have a business? Let me know. So that's one. So one, setting realistic goals. Two, quarterly planning for growth. And so when you're breaking down like your launch process, for example, okay, if you want to achieve $100,000 this year, you know that you want to achieve $10,000 a month at least. So that's probably $30,000 in the quarter. And you could possibly get that sooner, but you need to break it down into, again, digestible steps. So when it comes to your business and marketing and social media, what platform are you going, where's your audience, and what platform are you going to choose? Is it going to be Instagram? Is it going to be Facebook? Is it going to be YouTube? Is it going to be LinkedIn? And you really want to make sure that whichever platform you choose, learn that platform, study that platform, understand how people engage and interact with that platform. Taji getting a lot of knowledge. I love it. I appreciate that you're getting value here. I appreciate you being here. And then like write it down. I also have a spreadsheet where I write out in like, who are my peers? Who am I wanting to study? What's working right now in the market? I'm always studying. As a business owner, you always want to be studying so that way you can always be evolving and growing and becoming better, elevating, okay? And then you want to make sure that you're balancing life, because it's like me being a single mom, you want to make sure that you're balancing content creation, or use about time blocking, you're balancing marketing, you're balancing personal development in your growth process as you're planning out your yearly goals is so key, because the more you pour into you, you're naturally going to be able to pour into others, especially your clients. Okay. Yes. And using the marketplace, Facebook marketplace is really good for that too. And I want to just share a client. So I had a client, Connie. He went from 7,000 followers. Now he's at like 600,000 followers. But he was really good at making sure to plan and track. Okay. Plan and track. And so when he started actually tracking and planning his goals, let me share an example right here. So he reached out to me in the DM and he started creating a spreadsheet. His Facebook group, his Facebook profile, his TikTok's going away, his Instagram, his YouTube. Where was he at week 1? And then in week 2, because he mapped out his content strategy, his marketing strategy, and the goals that he wanted to be able to achieve in that time span, his following and engagement blew up. And he was able to learn how to convert and scale more of his business. And he's got so many leads in this process. And then we had to, of course, implement better systems and automations and workflows, because he had an influx and eventually he had to hire. But this is the power of what he was doing. He was planning, he was mapping out and time blocking, And then he was also tracking. And so the third thing you want to do after you set clear goals, after you start doing your quarterly planning, now you want to start tracking somewhere. And that's where I mentioned Google, Excel spreadsheet, Notion, Trello. There's so many different resources now. And when you are mapping out and tracking, you're not going to get overwhelmed. You're not going to get burnt out. And what did this allow for Akani to achieve? This allowed him to successfully hit his first $20,000 month because he took the time out to plan, to goal set, to track, and then also believe in what is possible. This is what's possible when you believe in yourself and your business. And I see you're writing a different language, so I'm not sure, but I'll have to translate that. But this is what is possible when you take the time to properly plan out your quarters and your year. This is what is possible. And I forgot to put the pin a comment, but tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be going live breaking down more of the exact process of how you can turn your business into a multi-six-figure online digital asset using your skill set, using your knowledge, using your expertise. But how can you package these downloads that God has positioned within you into a format that you can now serve your audience and they're willing to pay you top dollar for in exchange for this knowledge that they might not understand or have, and along with how to properly automate that process so that way you can have more time freedom to be with your family, to go on those vacations, to pay off that debt, to buy that dream car, to buy that house. I just share your life. Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Taji. I appreciate you. I'm so happy that you're finding value here. But if you would love to be in the room tonight, make sure to comment or DM me the word passion, and I will send you your free ticket to be in the room where everything I'm sharing right now is going to be broken down even more in a live room where we can break bread, we can have conversation. I get to meet you in the room because I love to have cameras on and in the room. So make sure to comment passion if you would love to be in the room. I have a question. What about real estate businesses? Oh, real estate businesses, you can do phenomenal. There's different strategies. Taji, I'll make sure, let me take a screenshot. There's different strategies when it comes to your real estate business, depending on what your goal and who your audience is. And next, I also wanted to share too, once you are tracking and organizing, you are going to want to have some place to automate your business so that way you're not doing any manual tasks and you can take your workload from 40 plus hours a week to 10 plus hours a week or even less without you having to work more. You can work smarter, not harder. And so if you know, like, you don't have any kind of client relationship management type of system, you don't have any workflows or email automation in place, you don't have a proper like sales funnel or landing page or anything like that, DM me the word scale, and I will give you an invite for 7 days free within my Convert to Scale systems. This is the same system that I use within my business that I've been using since like 2019. Along with what I have my clients use. And it's literally a business in a box. And for those who decide to join and register, I'm actually going to give you my exact email workflows, sales funnels, scripts, and even a free offer template so that way you can start attracting more of your leads, or you're turning your followers into leads and then eventually to paid clients. So if you know that you would love access to a free 7-day trial of my Convert to Scale systems, make sure to comment the word scale and I'll send you an invite to get access to that. But let me take this off the screen real quick because these are definitely things that you want to have in place. And I see you're tagging people. I appreciate that you're gaining so much value, Taji. Thank you guys for being here. So overall, I just want to give a recap of what we discussed today. So along with a recap of what we went over the last couple days. So day 1, we talked about why now is the best time to break into the online digital space. This is going to be a $7.41 trillion industry by 2026. It's only growing, it's only evolving, and there's going to be a wave and shift, especially because TikTok possibly is going to be banned this weekend. And along with, and thank you, Mr. One More Property, for joining. And then Next, we talked about really understanding your market. So niching down. And in the beginning, you don't have to niche all the way down, but you really want to take the time to understand your market and your audience and who you're going to be speaking to, so that way it can be aligned with your messaging. Day 3 yesterday, we talked about creating an irresistible offer and what are the elements of actually designing and building that, so that way you're taking your audience and your ideal client through a transformative experience and journey to get to their desired destination. And at the end of the day, you're really like a doctor and a surgeon, and you're solving people's biggest pain points and problems. You are a problem solver at the end of the day. And today we covered goal setting and strategically giving yourself a clear roadmap for your business to get to your end goals, whether that's 6-figure year, $500,000 year, or a 7-figure year. You do want to plan it out. So I hope that you found today valuable. Please share this with a business friend you believe will find valuable. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, please subscribe, and I shall see you guys in tomorrow's live training. And wait, today's Thursday? Yeah, in tomorrow's live training. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about the power of building an irresistible brand. Branding is going to be key, and I shall see you guys then. Have a blessed day. Bye for now.